Hey guys, welcome to another video, and in today's video, we have a new figure, which I'm very excited about, and I just got this figure from Walmart for $30, and that may sound like a lot, but it was originally $50, guys, so I got this on sale for $30. We have the colossal chomp giganotosaurus from Jurassic World. And so it is Jurassic World Survival. And yeah, so we're gonna unbox and review this figure. But let's check out the box first. It's so big I have to have the camera back a little. Actually gonna turn that on. There we go. So here we have Mattel, the company that made it. Colossal Chomp. Here's the Jurassic World Survival with the Jurassic World logo that's kind of ripped. No idea why. Jurassic World Survival here. You could see the letters on Survival are kind of faded. Make it look cool. And then back here we have Ember the T-Rex. Some demonstrations of what the figures can do, the action features. It says try me here, which we'll do in a sec. Some more action feature. This explaining it makes noise. And yeah, so check out the back. It's a big figure. Okay, so here you can see we have a picture of the Giga doing its action features, and it says control the attack. It just shows more of what it can do. Here you have this Muscle Madness T-Rex, this ugly thing, and then this fax app with the scan code and everything. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And you can see this is like ripped or chomped, as if a dinosaur just chomped that part of the box and ripped it. Kind of cool design there. Probably will keep this box on display though, but not the figure, of course, because we are gonna unbox the figure and review it right now today. So let's get our trusty scissors and start snapping these wires apart. There's one. That can't be the only one, surely. Oh yeah, there's one on the thigh over here, which I still think can't. Maybe. It has that thing on its feet. Be right back when I have this all done. Okay, I think I finally got it undone. Yep. Just take this box, put that aside real quick. Place our figure here. I am gonna bring this in here just a little. Place this down. We don't need the whole thing in the frame. So there's this little slit that goes right here, you know, to prevent the figure from making sound or noise, which I just got this, so no idea if it makes sound or if it needs new batteries. I mean, I know it should make sound, but I don't know if it needs new batteries. If it does, I will refill it on batteries, but let's check out the coloration here. So here you could see we have this beautiful, like, greenish, really dark green color, almost like a grayish green color as the base coat here. Looks very beautiful. And actually, before we get into the color fully, I do want to point out this figure looks really nice, like a reptilian or something. Like, my first thought when I saw this was, hey, Mattel came out with an iguana or something. It literally looks exactly like an iguana. Like, you could catch this in Florida. Like, tell me this doesn't look like an iguana. But yeah, so it has like this grayish green color as the base coat, really like it. Then again, I do think these colors are probably based off the main Dominion Giga. If you're not a huge Jurassic nerd, the Giga is in both the movie Jurassic World Dominion and the show on Netflix, Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Specifically season 4. I believe episode 4 and the last episode, I think. But so yeah, probably based off those colors. But you also see these little patterns here, and the whole top of the back is like this grayish color. And these spines on the back here, obviously this is survival, so it's gonna try, like, they're gonna try to make it look like a modified, more crazy looking version, almost like a whole mutant of the original. But that does not annoy me too much, because Mattel has come out with other Gigas in the past that were supposed to be accurate to the movie. Which, the first Dominion one, yeah, no, I did not like that thing. That thing looks, like, horrible. But, I mean, I guess if it was super cheap, maybe I would get it. And then they came out with the Hammond Collection, which I think's really nice. But the only thing about Hammond Collection is, like, those are really only for, like, those are cool. I love Hammond Collection, but, you know, you want a good mainline figure as well. And they came out with the Reimagined one, which was, like, super goofy colors. As you'd expect for Reimagined, but still, it's just goofy colors. Came in a set with the orange Therizinosaurus, and it had, like, the same face sculpt as the original Dominion one. But, yeah, so you could see that we have these, like, modified, really big spines here on the back. And these look a little bit more gray than these actual paint, like, patterns on the back of the figure and on the top, upper thigh of the figure as well. Where it is a little bit more blackish color down here. Still gray, but just a light, or a darker gray. And as for the underbelly, it is the same color, different texture though, which I really like. And then as you come up to the neck, about the bottom of the neck to the very, the whole bottom jaw, it is this yellowish color, lightish yellow. And it does look on camera like these are two different colors, but it's not that obvious in person. And they actually did a really good job here of, like, making this yellow kind of fade into this green color, which I personally think looks really nice. It does have these beautiful green eyes here, which I also think looks wonderful. If I open the mouth here, you can see. Yeah, there's some of the noises. There you go, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna temporarily put this little slit back in there. I think that should be enough, but let's see. Okay. You could see it has this, like, darkish pink mouth, as Mattel has been producing this color for a lot of their figures recently. It's pretty regular color. Does have rubber teeth, which are same color as always, like this off-white, almost yellow. And then you can see these side flaps here on the mouth. For any other figure, usually those are just like plastic, hard plastic, but these are actually like rubbery, where you can, like, pull them out super far. I don't see why you'd want to, but, you know, it's kind of nice. It makes it feel more realistic for if you're just, like, touching them. But, yeah. And so, also, These fingernails here are not painted, although the toenails are. Mattel is coming back, guys. Could they be coming back with the nicer, more time spent on these, like, paint jobs here? Although this dual claw isn't. Oh, and this black coloration, or grayish coloration on the spines and the pattern on the back is not fully through the figure. It kind of stops at the midway through the tail, just about. And then it's just same regular greenish color from there, which is alright with me, but I kind of wish they would have made the full thing just through. From the front angle, though, this thing looks menacing in a good way. Like, tell me you wouldn't be afraid of that thing if I was just staring at you. Especially when its mouth is open, which we're going to talk about how wide that mouth is open. Articulation. You can't really move the legs. Like, you can move them like this, but they won't stay in that position. You'll see why when we come to the action feature. Mouth you can open, but it won't stay open manually. Same with neck. Can't really move it. You can move this little part of the body, which also does not stay like that. The only part of the body that really stays, there's two parts that really stay, but also the tail kind of just, yeah, pretty cool. But the two parts that stay are the arms. Those do not come out. Yeah, those just go forward and backwards, kind of. Can go full 360 both ways. And then the second part is the ankles here, which are actually pretty high up here. Can also just kind of, move his ankles any angle if you want. But now we're gonna get in the action feature, because barely has any articulation that you can't that you can do without using action feature. Let me take this out, put it aside. So you really, it doesn't matter where you use this manually, really, but I mean, it kind of does. I'm actually gonna stand up for this one. So you kind of like hold the foot, or both feet if you want. Let's see, yeah. And let's say we go from the tail. Oh, sorry. Just gonna lift this up, just so you can see this. And even when going down, but I preferably would use here probably to control this. But yeah, so as you can see, has some good action features here. Or a good action feature, I guess. So yeah, pretty good action feature. So you that's not only going up and down, you can also go sideways. For example, I wanted to go here, or I wanted to go opposite side. You know, kind of smooth like that. Moves pretty nicely. Really enjoy how this figure moves and looks. Honestly, probably my favorite Giga that Mattel has made, besides Hammond Collection. And honestly, it's up there with Hammond Collection. Like, Hammond Collection just barely beats this figure. Although, when I'm coming quality-wise on the figure itself, Hammond Collection Giga's face does look a little dull and not too detailed. So, articulation-wise, obviously, Hammond Collection, but when you're talking about, just kind of function-wise, like, a toy, say you're getting a toy for your kid, it depends. If, you have a tiny kid who wants a toy where he can, play with his other toys, do dino fights and stuff, this is a guy you want to get. Now, if your child is maybe a little bit older, or even if they're young, and they want a dinosaur that they could pose or take Jurassic World dinosaur photography with or something, or they also want to do dino fights, but more of just posing their figure, or maybe stop motion or something, making movies, probably get the Hammond Collection figure. But also, Hammond Collection is really hard to find and usually pretty expensive. So, yeah, I really like this guy. Honestly, one of my favorite figures it is probably my favorite figure in survival line, but one of my favorite figures that Mattel's come out with recently. But yeah, so, I'm gonna do some size comparisons and show you guys some more things. Okay, we have some size comparisons here. First, I'm gonna pull out a regular sized raptor figure, Very, short compared to this guy. Probably accurate sizing movie-wise, but, the tallest point of this raptor figure seems to be at the knee of the Giga. So, yeah. And then we also have a human figure, which we just have Owen Grady for, which is the average figure size, which is also about up to the knee of the Giga. And let's see, I want to test this. So the Giga cannot fit a whole human in its mouth perfectly. But, I would say pretty fun to test your figures with. If you're trying to make it seem like the actual movie. And there's another figure here, which honestly, I don't have another Giga, by the way. This is my only actual Giga. So I got a guy who I thought was pretty similar figure type. Gonna have to move this guy back for this one. Sorry about that. It's Spino here, which Spino has a longer face probably, and I would say Spino is probably a little bit longer, literally by probably not even an inch, maybe a whole inch, but that looks just about full. Actually, this guy's face isn't straight. Maybe if his face was straight, it'd be a little bit longer. I don't know. It still looks like a pretty tiny amount, but height-wise, Spino is taller because of his sail. Just a little bit, but I would say it's a pretty good matchup right here in size. Pretty cool. Although this is a great figure, this Spino. I'd say these two are some of my favorite figures. At least for the newer guys. And then another guy I have is, you could hear squeaks. Sorry about that. Is this T-Rex, who's missing a foot. Yeah, I have his foot, in one of my bins. Probably should go get it real quick. Why am I even looking for his foot? It doesn't really matter. I didn't really come here for size comparison, although, there you go. pretty good sizing, I guess. I actually came here because specifically got my extreme damage one because this figure back in the day on the box claimed to have one of the widest opening mouths out of these figures. Said very wide opening mouth. And this is a manually opened mouth figure, so we're gonna see which mouth opens wider. You can pull this guy a little bit closer just for the face, you know? Okay. This is how wide the T-Rex's mouth opens. That's pretty wide. Now, wow. The Giga opens its mouth wider. If we go from like there. That is crazy how wide the Giga can open its mouth. Actually, let's see if it can fit Owen its mouth while Owen. Oh my. There's still room in there. Look at that. Wow, that is insane that the iguana can do that. That's my new nickname for this guy, is the iguana. But anyway, overall, great figure. I'm gonna have to give this figure another 10 out of 10. I love this figure. He looks beautiful. And, I honestly think it's great functioning, great action feature and all that, so I think I'm gonna give it a good 10 out of 10. But, yeah, so thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want. See you in the next one. Peace.